Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video by me, FoxyNoTail, here on the truly Bedrock survival server, and I'm standing at a point which is going to become a trident killer, hopefully, in today's video, because in the last video, if you didn't catch it, we finished the hostile mob farm. The hostile mob farm is completely done. It works absolutely brilliantly. The only thing it is missing is a storage system, and because this is built over an area where there's going to be a passive mob farm around the outside as well, when mobs fall off the edge, sometimes on this side, they often fall in the water, and that makes them end up down here, and the idea is that they will just end up inside of a trident killer. So whilst most are being dealt with by the magma blocks, this water actually exists for the passive mob farm that's going to go around the outside, and some hostile mobs will end up in it, and they'll end up in the trident killer. And the reason we need to make the trident killer first is because when I run this, I want to be able to AFK at this and get plenty of drops. Yeah, lots and lots of mobs end up down here instead of up there, and it reduces the rates. So trident killer first, then I'm going to be looking at putting in the grass ring, otherwise known as the meat waffle, around our AFK spot around this farm as well, hopefully in today's video. So I better get cracking because there's a whole lot to do. Now, the first thing I want to work out is what level down there we want our trident killer to be at. I'm currently at Y equals 150, and we need to be within 44 blocks vertically, otherwise mobs will despawn before they get to the bottom of it. And I want it as far down as possible because I'd actually quite like the passive mobs and hostile mobs that end up in it to take a little bit of damage before they actually end up in the trident killer so that they die a little bit more quickly. And the lowest point that we can actually have that is 106 on the Y level, which is here, which is probably a little bit low. Let's keep things to the 10s because that's nice and easy to work with. And I think if we do it at Y equals 110, that's still a reasonable distance down from there for the mobs to spawn and potentially take a reasonable amount of damage. 20 blocks. 20 blocks is how far they're going to fall. If they fell 30, they would die instantly, which would be great. But if we do it 30 blocks away, they're going to despawn before they die. So yeah, 20 blocks. That's absolutely fine. It has suddenly occurred to me that there is a flaw in our plan in using a trident killer below, and that is because in 1.16, XP behaves a little bit oddly, and it tends to back up in the trident killers, and it causes an incredible amount of lag after not too long a time with only a small amount of XP gathered. And there's not going to be a great deal we can do about that because our AFK spot is up there and our trident killer is going to be down there. Now, it's not impossible we could potentially flush the XP out of there maybe with water streams, but getting them up here and over to us there would be an absolute nightmare, and it's going to mean redstone and blocks in the way of our killing areas and affecting our water streams and stuff here, which is going to reduce the rates of the farm and potentially get mobs caught on it, and it's just not going to be very good. So I've got a different idea. And that different idea is simply to just use magma blocks instead of a trident killer. And although we will no longer get the looting effect or the XP from this farm, which means that the rates will be a bit slower, it will mean that it will be a lot less laggy, especially when other players are online, and we're not going to be lagging out the world with XP either. So I think having a completely passive kill system rather than a redstone activated trident killer is going to be the way forward, or at least the simplest way forward, to make sure that we're not causing problems for other people on the server. We're already going to be loading loads of redstone and farms and things. We don't want to add to that and make it loads worse, do we? Let's be considerate. And that actually makes my life a whole lot easier too, because I no longer have to muck about doing redstone down here for trident killers and all of that sort of stuff, and it makes the system for collecting the items a lot easier as well. The only thing I am going to have to be slightly careful of is witches. If witches end up down here, they're not going to die from the fall damage alone, and they may take a health potion before they take enough damage down there to survive. If that's the case, we'll probably have to have something like a lava blade in place to kill things as they fall down and make sure that they 100% are dead before they get to the bottom. 100% dead? 100% dead? Well, like, you can be 50% dead. Oh, jeez. Don't stop. Why do you always pull me up on things? It's so annoying. I just say things. I don't think it through. Well, you should be more considerate of what you're saying. Confusing people. 100% dead. Whatever. I never heard anything like... Oh, shut up. Building up this reminds me of my carrot farm and the woes we had in the last video, and it has occurred to me that potentially the reason why the farmer and the villager in the middle aren't trading is because they're not happy with me because I killed the previous tenants. It could be that the villagers actually spread far enough to include the villager breeding area over there, in which case the whole village will not like me very much, which may be why they're not farming. So I need to look at that at some point, but not right now. I'm busy. And just a few minutes later, our collection system is pretty much complete. We've got our magma blocks there, which is hopefully going to kill everything. And underneath that, we've got 4 hopper minecarts, which are going to suck everything through that. And that's going to come down into these hoppers, which will then go into a storage system further down. For now, we're just going to put a couple of temporary chests in there to store things. And the other thing we need in this is a system above to transfer all of the items out of the hostile mob farm into this system as well. And the way we're going to do that is with a dropper. Basically, I'm going to funnel all of the items from the hostile mob farm into a single dropper, which is going to run on a clock and just spit items out that will go down that hole. My only concern here is there will be too many items to work with just one dropper, so we may end up with a couple of droppers on this, but I don't think there will be. And this should be all we need. I don't think we need to go any faster than that, and if we do, we can always speed this up. And hello guys, I see you falling into the water. Don't worry, I will be with you in a moment. Now that that's all in place, all I need to do is smash all of these blocks that I put in temporarily out of the way. And then I can smash these 4... Oh, the water's not... Oh dear. Oopsie daisy. Oh dear. I may have made a slight boo-boo. And also, why is the water not coming all the way back over here? Have I made another boo-boo somewhere? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, mate. Right, let's just... that's not good. There we... No? Water not want to work anymore? There... No... What? What's going on with the water? Why is it floating? There we go. The water's back. Now I need to smash a hole in those. Like that. And then I can just smash that. And all of those items are going to go down there. They're going to get sucked up by those hopper minecarts. Amazing. Right, now I need to get down there and I can't fly anymore because there's no blocks to stand on. Jeez. Moment of truth time. Let's make sure this is working. Yes, it is. It's all full. And the items are transferring through into there. That's great. I don't really want any of those to despawn though, so I might just drop a temporary chest in here for now and just collect them myself. Oh, give me those items. Give me those items, please. Jeez, I don't want to lose them, mate. So far, so good, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back up to the top. I'm going to get Chuck AFK over in here so that he can get this thing running for us, and then we can keep our eye on that dispenser down there, or the dropper, and make sure that's working. And look at this thing, raining mobs. Yes, let's get Chuck in. With Chuck in place, I can now keep my eye on this, and I can also keep my eye on that system as well, watching those guys all fall down there and making sure they die, which they are doing. That's wonderful. Amazing. And for some reason I've just ended up with redstone in my inventory. I'm not sure how. Maybe there was a witch. And yeah, that dropper is empty. This is good news. We just had a pretty big wave of items coming through here, and it doesn't look like there's any backing up at all, which is really good news. So I'm happy that this system is going to be self-sufficient and sort itself out and not back up. So now what I need to do is work out how we're going to do the rest of the storage system down here. And with a new redstone system, a tube and a temporary couple of hoppers and chests down here later, we should be good to go with that part of the build as well. If I can get back up to it, oh jeez. And that should mean all of those items are going down there perfectly and falling in those hoppers. They won't spread out because of chaos and everything at all. It'll be absolute... Oh jeez. Oh jeez, mate. Oh, they're not all making it in, mate. Why? Why Bedrock Edition? Why won't you fall straight? If you use upside down stairs, shut up. And bringing the tunnel down a little bit further does mean that everything... Whoa, that's so glitchy when the kelp farm goes off. Yeah, bringing it down to there does mean that everything is now collecting in those hoppers, which is great because I've run out of glass. I've got one piece of clear glass left. Out of all the glass I had, that's all I've got. I've got some coloured glass, but I've got no other glass. Jeez, where'd all my glass go, mate? And I've got no sand left. I need to go on the sand gathering mission. And I see you, creeper. I'm not sure how you spawned there next to all of those light things, but yeah, please no. He spawned inside it and climbed out. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. But no, he's dead. Before we go on to do anything else with this, I think it's about time we did a little bit of a situation report on, or a sit rep. Yeah, sit rep on, there's another one, look. Yeah, on what blocks we've got and what we haven't got, because I'm starting to run very, very short on a lot of items that I'm going to need for this farm. Firstly, I'm going to need a lot of comparators, which means I'm going to need a lot of quartz and stone in order to make those, and both of those are in very short supply. I've got 17 pieces of nether quartz ore and 8 actual nether quartz, which isn't very much at all. And in terms of stone, I've now only got that. All of my shulker boxes of stone were turned into smooth stone, so we've hardly got any stone at all. I mean, there's plenty there to make comparators with, but yeah, I don't have many. Glass, which is very, very useful for building with, particularly in the design I'm working with, I only have none of. And I've got less than 3 stacks of sand. So I desperately, desperately need some sand. And the other thing I'm going to need lots of is wood. And I do have a reasonable amount of wood to make chests with, so that's not too bad. But redstone itself, I think I'm relatively short on. I don't think I've got tons of redstone. I could probably make do with that. But yeah, so definitely stone, quartz, and sand I need a lots of. Foxy, you can get Foxy, you can get quartz from piglin bartering. I know. I'm just making a point. Jeez. Apparently, though, Liara has restocked her redstone shop, and I'm going to go and check out how expensive the redstones at her shop are. Everything 1 diamond as stacked. Well, oh, I like how she's laid that out with the invisible armor stands. That looks really good. That looks great. Okay, pick 1 stack free with any purchase. Levers and buttons. Okay, comparators, 12 for a diamond. That's not actually too bad, to be honest with you. We could buy a few of those from that. But I don't know. Pistons, 12, 16. Not bad prices. What about observers? I don't need any. I'm just checking the prices. Yeah, redstone components are always expensive on servers because nobody can be bothered to craft them and they require so many materials. Oh, jeez. I think I'd go make my own, mate. And I'm not saying that Liara is too expensive. I'm saying that I'm too stingy. Chaps, I'm going to need you to take many, many, many golds and give me many, many, many quartzes, please. There you go. Go. Quartz, please. If you give them more than 1 pigment and 1 pig... Oh, shut up with your glitches and your bugs. You put silent whisper. I don't... Oh. So, for the storage system, I thought I'd come to my redstone testing world and have a bit of a play because I had a really nice idea of something I wanted to do. I really, really wanted the droppers to drop onto a conveyor that would go round and there would be hoppers underneath the conveyors, a little bit like this, taking out the items and running them into a sorting system like this. And I couldn't find any reason why that wouldn't work until I tried it and I found a problem. Because this is Bedrock Edition, obviously slime blocks and honey blocks can move hoppers, so we can't have the slime blocks and the honey blocks directly above the hoppers because we'll just break our sorting system. So that idea is out. The other idea was to raise it up a level and put some hopper minecarts in, which would mean we'd only be able to use every other hopper, which would be fine. But unfortunately, when you do it like this, it actually shifts the rail underneath it. It sticks to the block it's not even touching, which just makes that impossible as well. So the only way we could do this would be to have a really, really small conveyor and actually move the hoppers round with it underneath, which would completely take away from the idea, because as soon as you got a hopper underneath there, it's going to eat the items. So sadly, making a cool conveyor system like this just isn't going to work. And whilst doing my testing and having to nip out for a couple of hours, Chuck was AFK here all this time, and good news! This thing has been working very, very well. We've now got 3 double chests worth of items in not very long at all. Yes, very, very good, which means we've now got lots and lots and lots and lots of gunpowder, which is exactly what we wanted this thing for. Many, many, many. Why didn't you just make a creeper farm? Because creeper farms don't give you as much gunpowder as a normal farm. Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, I know it doesn't make sense, but trust me, I know how it works. Oh, I don't trust you. Well, that's your problem. And back to the creative world. This is the storage design that we're going to be going for, and it's relatively simple. It is 4 chunks, so 2 by 2. I like the space we've got, and we're using these comparator systems to sort. And for the sake of demonstration, on this side, this will all accept rotten flesh. In this side, these will all accept gunpowder. In this side, these will all accept string. And in this side, these will all accept bones. As you can see, gold is going around, but it's not getting collected because none of these storage bits will accept gold. We've got water streams on blue ice, which is pushing everything round, and these items will go round and round and round and round until they despawn. So let's just dump a whole load of items into this thing and watch them go round and see where this goes. So this is rotten flesh, so we should see rotten flesh going into there. We did. This one is gunpowder, and you can see the gunpowder disappearing into those hoppers there. This side is string, so we should see the string disappearing into these hoppers here, which you can see that's happening. And this side is bone, so we will see the bones disappearing into there. Now, on the actual system, we won't have a whole side for one particular item. We'll have different items in each one. So this one might be rotten flesh, this one might be rotten flesh, but this one will probably be string, and this one will probably be gunpowder, and so on and so forth. But you get the picture. There's plenty of storage for plenty of things. And the other thing that we've got in here is the shulker boxes. So the system will feed through here into the shulker boxes. And for I guess my storage... Oh, geez, I broke it already, haven't I? Jeez, I need to do a little bit of works on here to make this work properly. But yeah, the storage system will filter through into the shulker box first, and then it will back up into the double chest for extra storage. Anything that doesn't make it through will just end up despawning. The only thing left for this system is to get the items that are coming from the center of these 4 chunks over to one of the sides. And I think the easiest way of doing that would just be to maybe start some water streams from the top here and just drop them off at this point and just let them fall into the water streams. And here we go. We've now got a system to emulate what we've got going on the server, albeit a lot more quickly. And the items are going out in 4 different directions. They're whizzing along the blue ice, falling off the edge, ending up in the water streams and just going round and round and round until they're all collected. And I love it. I think it's absolutely great. I think it's really, really interesting design. Certainly something I've never done before. And I'm really looking forward to getting it built on the truly Bedrock server. Time has been again, and I have live streamed. Oh, morning. I have been live streaming, yes, and during live stream, I got a prowl head, which means I now have every single person's head filling up the head office. And let's take that totem out before it drives everybody in the comments nuts for having it on my screen. Yes, I have every single TB member now at the head office table, which is absolutely amazing. I also got a slime head, accidentally just chopping away slimes with an axe while I was mining, because I've been resource gathering. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we were very short on sand to make glass, and we were very short on stone, and thankfully, after a quick live stream, we've now got many sands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shulker boxes worth of sand, and for stone, we've got another 4 shulker boxes, which is absolutely fantastic. That means we're going to be able to make many things, and I've got a whole bunch of quartz as well, ready and waiting over where we're building our storage area. But before we do that, though, I need to go and smelt some of this glass into sand. No, the other way around. Smelt some of this sand into glass. Yes, we need glass. So with the sand smelted, the stone gathered, and the quartz gathered, and me starting to dig around the area here to make it look nice, I guess I should really start putting this storage system together. But before I do that, there's just one more thing I need to gather. I don't think I've quite got enough of it right now. And that's... Oh, I do! I've got enough! Hurrah! No more gathering required. Let's get building. Yes, mini buildings. I've spied a problem as I'm digging out the glass over here. I've just noticed that all of the kelp is backing up here, which is a really good sign. But, yeah, a little bit of an oversight. I forgot this thing was running while Chuck was AFK for me for a long time, getting many chests worth of items. So, yeah, we need to put the second row of chests back in there so that those things can filter through and we're not just wasting all of that kelp. Amazing. Oh, I'm going to be so rich with kelp, mate. Jeez. And I suppose while I'm over here, I might as well do a quick carrot check. 49. Stage 1 of the fancy storage system complete. In that is a ridiculously expensive floor that doesn't look particularly great. I've used many sea lanterns and iron blocks and crying obsidian, blackstone, shroom lights. Why not? Let's throw it all in. Let's make the most of this area and use all of our most expensive blocks. Yes, mini. And that is one storage segment complete for phase 2. And now I've got to do 3 more of those. They're not too difficult to put together, and I have done them a little bit bigger than what we had in the test world with 3 rows of double chests, just so there's plenty of storage here going forward in the future. I now have all 4 systems in place and all lit up as well, because we were getting mobs spawning on top of them, which wasn't ideal. But yeah, that is many chests and many hoppers. It's ridiculous. I don't actually know how many it is. There are 16 per row, 3 rows, that's 48 double chests per segment. We got 4 segments, that is 192 double chests altogether. And there is even more hoppers than that. There is a total of 320 hoppers in this system. There are 5 lines of hoppers per segment, and there are 16 in a row. That adds up to 320. This thing is ridiculous. Now what I need to do is link up the blue stone? No, the blue ice, and the glass and the buttons, and make the waterways, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and do the bit from the middle where it all joins in, I guess. So yeah, not too much more to do at all. And just like that, all of the ice is in. The chests that the items butt up against are in, and the buttons have been put around to, first of all, make the water not flow where we don't want it, and also to make things not spawnable as well. One of the problems with this, well, it's not really a problem, but one of the things I've noticed while Chuck has been AFK up there, although he's not there now, is that if an Enderman spawns in the mob farm while there's someone down here, it will teleport down here. Now, I'm trying to reduce the number of spawning spots, or the number of spots it can teleport to, but I'm not going to be able to do that 100%, because it'll still be able to teleport to other areas around here. But chances are, if someone's AFK up there, there's not going to be anyone down here, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. What I am going to do is start placing in water in the form of ice. And I'm going to start placing the water by putting a button there, a piece of ice next to that, and I'm just going to smash that, and that's going to go round there. Another button, another piece of ice, smash that, and I'm just going to do that so on all the way around this, and hopefully if I've done everything right, it should link up nicely, and everything should be a nice full water source. A full water source? Oh, you know what I mean? It should... Oh, shut up. There shouldn't be any short bits. It should all link up nicely. Now, at this point, it would be a good idea to test whether the water streams are working, but I haven't put any item films in any of the filter systems yet, so that probably wouldn't be a good idea. Otherwise, I'm just going to get items randomly going in places and making a mess of the filters. And just like that, everything is now in place. We've got the water sources in the middle pushing outwards. We've got the tube dropping down, and all I need to do now is get Chuck back on so that we can test this thing and watch what happens. Oh, wait, no. Before I do that, I do need to put the filters in. Otherwise, when I throw items in here like that, they are oh dear, I missed it. Yeah, they're going to end up in the hoppers. Oh, jeez. Let me just make sure that items don't go spitting out over the edge. No, that's fine. It's gone in there. That's going to go round the corner there. It's going to hit that chest, and hopefully it's going to go in that first hopper. It did, and it would probably be locked in there. Oh, no, it won't, because I've got no redstone torches along the back there. Well, it's a good job I did that test, isn't it? Dear me. That was bad, FoxyNoTail. Very naughty. And just like that, all of the item filters are now in. We got filters in every single one of the hopper systems in here, and I've added in the stuff for those farms as well, so we can route those things over here, and I've added stuff in for the hostile mob farm. I've also put in, if we look in these hoppers here, you can see what's going on there. I've also put in a whole bunch of placeholders, which I've used buttons for this side and that side for the future. Obviously, we'll need some for the passive mobs, and I'm not entirely sure what drops we're going to get from that. And we'll need some for other farms in the future as well. And pretty sure I just saw, oh yes, my golden carrot. My test golden carrot is currently going round, making sure everything is working correctly. Now I'm just about to get Chuck logged in here to test this. But before I do that, let's just grab a few different items and throw them in and make sure they all go where they're supposed to go. So let's throw in some gunpowder, string, ender pearls, redstone, glowstone dust, sugar, spider eyes, those things, they should all start filtering into the system now. As they go round there, you'll see they start to disappear. The gunpowder and stuff is going to go into that system over there, and they've gone shooting straight past. Maybe they need another go round. Maybe they need more than... Oh, of course, yes, because there's only... I threw stacks in, so they can't all fit in at the same time. So there should be less going round in the stack. Let's actually check the gunpowder one when we get there. These two are gunpowder, and we should see in a second as the gunpowder comes back round. They didn't go in. Oh, this one. It got caught in that one. So they are all in now. Brilliant. So we now should see... Yes, we are getting them through in the bottom as well. Phew. I thought there was a problem there, mate. Jeez. And with Chuck now back online in the AFK spot, we should see this thing start to kick in. Whoa, there we go. Yeah, this thing's working very nicely. So hopefully those drops are all coming down here into our storage system. Let's check it out. We should be able to see things are going in. We can. There's some string going past, and I can see stuff going around the edge. And the keen-eyed viewers might have noticed I've got some leather on me. What I'm going to do is run a line of glass around the top of these chests here and put item frames on them all so I can tell what's in each box. Just like that. And as I said before, the Endermen do tend to teleport down here when they spawn up there when there is a player down here, which is a bit of a problem, but I'm sure it will be absolutely fine. All I need to do is fly away. So we've got all of those in there. We've got all of those in there and none in any of those. So we've still got a whole 32 rows of storage that are spare for other things. So yeah, this is working. It's all working. Now that I've got this all in place, the question is, how do I filter the stuff from these into here as well? And also there is a little bit of a problem. Occasionally an item will get stuck right in the center of those water flows. So I may end up just having one that just goes off in one direction rather than four. I think that will probably result in a lot less losses. Although I like the 4. I like the fact that it goes in all 4 different directions, splits everything up nicely. Technically, what we could do is still split it into 3 and just have it like that. If we get rid of those 2 water streams there and do it that way, we shouldn't get anything stuck, although we've got a little bit of a weird thing going on with the water there. But I think it will miss the ice. So we could still split it up 3 ways. But is there any point? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when we look at putting these things in as well. Coming back to this filling system, bringing it all to the middle is going to be easy enough. Digging lines underneath, we can just use water streams to bring the items there. Getting them up there isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world. I would kind of like it to be a full like quad block dropper system. I'll try and show you what I mean. Basically 4 droppers like that stacked up, all going up to there. That would be great if I could do that, but I think realistically... Oh, there's a hole in my glass there. There's a hole in my glass, mate. Yeah, I think that's going to be difficult to power and quite big. The other option, instead of coming to the center here, is we could bring it to each of these corners. So we could come down over here and just lift it up into the water stream at this point here. That wouldn't be a difficult thing to do either. We could bring this quarter of the farm over to here, that quarter of the farm over to that side, and do it that way. And I think that's probably going to be a more reasonable and simple thing to achieve. Well, this might not be the most attractive feature in the world, but I think this should work. We've got a dropper elevator here that is pushing items into that ice block. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to go up above it into the water stream or if they'll spill out. But all of the redstone is in place, and we've got a channel coming along here underground to another dropper system here. And I've redirected all of the kelp from this system to go into that. So all I need to do is grab a little bit of redstone dust, and this is where it could all go wrong. Link that up there so that starts running. That's going to start firing kelp along there, and it should hopefully start coming up this dropper elevator. And it's, yeah, of course it's not going where I want it to go. What if I put a little bit of glass there? I need more glass. More glass, please, mate. Oh, I want it to spit out the top, not the sides. Jeez. Like that. Ah, there we go. Now it's spitting out the top. I think we're onto a winner. The question is, though, is that system fast enough to keep up with the kelp farm? I think it will be. I can't see a problem with that. But yeah, that's all flushing through there. And that should hopefully all be getting picked up by the kelp hoppers over there, which it looks like it is. Sliding along over here to where the kelp is, and we can see, yeah, it's all getting picked up. This is very good. Now, for some reason, they skipped the first one by the looks of things and go straight into the second one, which is a bit odd. So let's just check. Yeah, there's hardly anything in the first one. It all seems to be going in the second one. I don't know why that is. I don't really care. As long as it's going where it needs to go, I'm happy with that. That's absolutely fine. And now the kelp system is also hooked up in a very similar way. We've just got a dropper thing here. When that fires, the bamboo comes running down here and into the dropper elevator there. And if we go down here, we can see how this works. It's simply just a little clock that runs when there are items in that dropper. And this is going over to the other side to the kelp farm one. So they're all linked together. And if we hop up to the top, we can see this in action. As you can see, the bamboo is popping up there through that bit of ice. It's going around the system, and hopefully when it gets over here, it will be going inside the bamboo chests, which are these four here. And there we go. It disappeared. It went in. Amazing. Oh, I really like this system. Now, I've already moved over nearly 4 double chests worth, and I've only got 4 sets of 3. And if we go over, let's just chuck these in there because I don't want those. Yeah, if we go over to this bit here, we've actually already got another load of chests worth here. We've got way too much bamboo, which means I don't want to be running this as often as I am. But our Etho hopper clock is already on the maximum setting, although it is possible to make this longer by using the signal strength off here instead of the redstone block moving. So I'm going to have to fiddle with that later to sort that out. Right now, I need to hook up the sugarcane farm and the cactus farm as well. The cactus farm is now hooked up as well, and we can see that the cactuses that I've plonked into that dispenser there are making their way through. I've moved the water line under the sugarcane farm, which I haven't hooked up yet, and it comes and meets with the bamboo farm, and both of those come along here together. And as we know what happens, they end up going round the system and into the cactus areas. You can see those cactuses going into those hoppers there, which is absolutely amazing. One thing that I have noticed though is that some of the items are now landing on here because of this. So I just need to bring this chute down a little bit more, and that should solve that problem. And there we go. We shouldn't get any more spillages from that thing now. And this side is still completely redundant. So I guess I might as well just get rid of that and reclaim some of that blue ice, because I am very short of blue ice now. And now the sugarcane system is completely hooked up. And this time we've got a double dispenser. The reason being is that this particular farm, when we're running it with bone meal, is incredibly fast. And although we've got a system under here that is sucking out a lot of items and deal with them quickly, we're still bottlenecked by just 2 hoppers that will feed into these dispensers and a dispenser clock. So I think when we're running this with bone meal, we're probably going to have to only run it for a few minutes, otherwise the whole system's going to back up. But it's working, which is great. And having now attached all of those farms and got rid of all of their own storage systems, I've been able to reclaim nearly 3 stacks of chests and over 3 stacks of hoppers from all that, which is absolutely ridiculous. I've still used more overall with this entire farm, but it's now not quite as bad as it was because they're all concentrated here and not just, there's not just millions of them everywhere. So the only farm I now haven't connected is the carrot farm, and as we've said, there's not really much point at the minute until I fix it, which I'm not going to do today. So, as usual, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! Oh, jeez, there's more stuff up here. Oh, jeez.